Hello and welcome to the Daily Meal for Wednesday the 5th of January 2022. Well, it's all gone off today. If you haven't heard, well, where have you been? Because it's all action today and it's all about Jed Wallace. What's happening with Jed Wallace? So this is from londonnewsonline.co.uk. This was reported on this morning. This come out. Millwall's Jed Wallace reportedly set to sign pre-contract deal with Besiktas. Millwall attacker Jed Wallace is reportedly set to sign a pre-contract agreement with Besiktas. Wallace is due to be a free agent at the start of July. Sky Sports. This was reported by Sky Sports News this morning. Sky Sports are reporting that the 27-year-old is set to put pen to paper on a deal that will see him move to the Turkish side at the end of the season. Wallace exclusively spoke to the South London Press in July about his contract situation. He said, "I'll always give 110%, which is why I think I've got a good relationship with the fans. My performances can always be up and down, but my level of effort, whether I've had 10 years on my contract or 10 hours, will never be any different. Every time I pull on a Millwall shirt, I give my absolute all. Sometimes I might misplace a pass or not win a tackle, but I played more than 200 games for Millwall. I give my all on the pitch for the football club and off it for the community. That will never change regardless of what the contract situation is." Wallace initially signed for the Lions in 2016 on loan from Wolverhampton Wanderers before renewing the loan deal in January 2017. The former Portsmouth winger made his move to the Den permanent in June 2017. He has scored 36 goals in 179 appearances. Wallace is recovering from a quad injury he suffered in mid-December. So yeah, this come out this morning. It was on Sky Sports News. They were talking about it, and then it's all being spoken about everywhere on in the media, the Millwall media, the South London Press, Southern News, News of Den, etc. And on Twitter and that, and everyone's talking about it. And then we get the news that Nottingham Forest have put in concrete bids for Jed Wallace, and they have both been rejected. They put in two bids. They put in one bid and then upped it. So this is from londonnewsonline.co.uk as well. This is from Richard Corley, so maybe a bit of an inside scoop here. So the original story from Sky Sports News, where's that come from? Who leaked that to them? Was it Besiktas? Was it Jed Wallace's people? Is he trying to say, come on guys, if Millwall are going to give me more money, you want to hurry up because I'm speaking to these other teams and I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm ready to sign a deal. You need to shit or get off the pot. So is that who leaked that? I don't know. But Millwall have already rejected two derisory offers from Forest for Jed Wallace. It is understood that the South London club view the offers as derisory for their star attacking talent. Well, he's out of contract in 6 months. What do you expect? Wallace, who has been sidelined with a quad injury in recent weeks, is out of contract at the start of July. It emerged today that Turkish club Besiktas are also showing an interest, are keen to tie the former Portsmouth and Wolves winger down to a pre-contract agreement that would kick in when his Den terms end. Wallace, 27, has been one of the Championship's top creative players in the past few seasons and has already chipped in with 5 goals and 6 assists in 21 league matches in the current one. He has scored 10 goals in both of the past 2 campaigns. Millwall will not receive any compensation for Wallace if he does see out his deal in SC16 due to the fact that he is over the age of 24. Middlesbrough previously made a move for Wallace in the summer of 2018. The T-side is intent on a double raid on the Den outfit as they also targeted George Saville. In the end, only Saville made the move in a club record outgoing transfer, reportedly costing up to $8 million. Forest manager Steve Cooper, speaking to Nottinghamshire Live before the window opened, said, "If you're going to bring any players in that you've identified you want it to be as soon as possible. It's not always as easy as that, and I'm sure the swings and roundabouts will go right until the last day of the window. But if we're in a position to do some business early, then that would be very, very good." So yeah, what was the bid? Well, we have this from a decent source, John Percy of the Daily Telegraph, I believe. I think that's who that is. And someone asked him this question: "Evening, mate. Any updates on the Jed Wallace situation? Let's be honest, that's the one most NFFC fans are most interested in now." And the reply was, "Need to offer more. Last bid was around 1.2 million. 1.2 million for Jed Wallace, who's out of contract in the summer. Now, will Jed Wallace even go there?" I think in that interview that South London Press were talking about, he said he wants to go on to bigger and better things. Now, Nottingham Forest are former European champions. They are former Premier League team, but they haven't been that for a while. Now, you would say they're a bigger team than Millwall, but currently in the current situation, is it really that much of a boost up? I don't think so. But would Jed Wallace go there? I don't know. If he's talking about going all the way to Besiktas, but Besiktas, I don't know if they're in the Champions League, but they're a pretty decent team. They've got some decent players. They have a Canadian guy called Kyle Larin. Remember that name because he is a bit of a superstar. Other players they have Michy Batshuayi, formerly of Chelsea. Remember him? And yeah, they do have some decent players. So I can see Jed Wallace probably. No, that's, and at the moment they're in the Turkish Super League. They're 7th. That's mid-table. So they definitely need to improve, and maybe that's what they're looking for Jed Wallace for. But they're signing him for the summer. To be honest with you, I don't think there's any chance that they will be getting into the. So in the Turkish Super League, the top 2 go into the Champions League. That probably includes probably not straight into the Champions League. That's just for qualification. And then the teams that finish 3rd and 4th go into the Europa Conference League qualifications. So not even the Europa, the next one, whatever it's called, the Conference League. So there you go. Because I imagine the top 2 get a chance to qualify for Champions League. If they don't qualify, and then they go into the Europa League. Whereas the 3rd and 4th just get a go into this new Conference League. But Besiktas are 7th. They're on 28 points. They're 11 points off of the qualification for the Champions League places. So that's quite a long way away. So I don't think they'll be in. They've got slim hopes of Europe next season. But there you go. So even that's not the Premier League. Now you got to realise the English Premier League is just a juggernaut. It's a global sensation. I mean, they know about the English Premier League and English Premier League teams in America, in the USA, and you would think that would never happen. Like, how would they just randomly know about Chelsea and Liverpool, Man City, and teams like that? And it's because they've been showing the games on the television, Saturday night games, and it's been getting a bit of following out there, especially the explosion in gambling in the USA as it's been deregulated and legalized, as the states need to make money. So there you go. So the Premier League is where everyone wants to be, and if Jed Wallace isn't getting that boost up into the Premier League, well, that's not really what he said he wanted, was it? And I don't think if he goes to Nottingham Forest, I've seen a lot of comments saying Mill fans wouldn't be happy if that happened. If he left us to go to Nottingham Forest, even with us getting money for him. So if the last bid was 1.2 million, they up it to 1.5. I think there was some rumour somewhere about Mill looking for 2 million. For 2 million for a player that's out of contract in 6 months. Why would you pay that? Surely you would say to the player, here, listen, come to us in 6 months and we'll give you this amount of money. And you can save yourself the 2 million. Say you offer the player 750k to sign on. You've saved yourself 1.25 million. That's how this business works. So there you go. All kicking off today concerning Jed Wallace. We're only in day 5 of the transfer window being open, and it looks like he's on his way now. Apparently he might be fit for the Palace game. Now that's a big moment for him. To be honest, yeah, you would think he would be fit. That puts him in a shop window, doesn't it? You can see if he comes in and he plays a blinder, and then at the end he does a bit. He goes a bit overboard with all the clapping of the fans and doing all that stuff. You would think, oh, that may have been his last game. And then the week after, who do we play? Nottingham Forest. Okay, so will we see Jed Wallace playing against Millwall on the 15th of January? Could happen. It could happen. It could happen. What they might do, if they're smart enough, is if they wait for the deal to go through until Friday the 14th, after a certain time. I think it might be 3 o'clock or 5 p.m. And then they can't register him. So it's too late to register him, so he can't play in that game. So if you are going to sell him to Forest, get the deal through on the night before the game. Then he can't play for Millwall because he's signed for Forest, but he can't play for Forest because he hasn't been registered as a player. So the deal's been done, but he can't play. But you would imagine he's going to play for us next season because there's a lot of rebuilding work to happen at Forest. A lot going on there. And just want to show you this. Now this is another story we've got coming up. If you look on the right hand side, there's Forest there. They're 1 point ahead of us. Pretty similar situation. And last season they were worse than us. But they got a new manager and they sorted themselves out. So there you go. But now we're going to move on to this story. So I told you yesterday about a bid for the Senegalese centre forward, and more information about that has come out. So this is from news@den.co.uk. They obviously spoke to someone at Millwall about it, and Millwall haven't made a bid for Senegalese centre forward despite a report of 1.5 million offer. Gueye has scored 5 goals in 16 league games this season for Belgium top flight side KV Kortrijk. Lions boss Gary Rowett wants to add another attacker to his squad in this transfer window. News@Den understands that the 6'2" Senegalese forward Gueye, 22, is on the list of targets for Millwall, but no offer is imminent. So he's a list on the targets, but no offer is imminent. They offered 1.5, and that's round about the amount of money they're looking to get from Jed Wallace moving to Forest. Coincidence, or what do you think? Now, some other stuff has come out about that. Now, the person on the left of the screen now, that is Cherno Samba. The person on the right is the player we've just been talking about, Papa Habib Gueye. He's signed. This was announced tonight. This is Cherno Samba's Instagram account. He's signed for the company that Cherno Samba works for, which is a sports consulting company. I think it's like an agency, I don't know. So there you go. So it all gets a bit weird and intriguing. So what's happening here? So he signed with a new sports agency apparently, but we go to their website and we scroll down. On the right hand side you can see UK and Ireland and Caribbean, Tony Verinda, Cherno Samba. So the guy who runs, or was the big guy in the UK and Ireland for this sports agency, is Cherno Samba. But they have a guy in Belgium. So why is he not speaking to that guy? Well, it seems, what I would guess, that they want to move him to England. You would imagine. Now, a lot of these, the thing with the work permits that's come in, you've got your points-based system and stuff. I don't know if he's from Senegal. I don't know if he has a Belgian passport or what. Maybe he got it in Belgium. He was in Norway and he was in Denmark as well, I believe. I'm not sure. Don't know what his situation is. Did he get a passport? Did he get his nationality? Because that would help him out, not a massive amount. But even then, if it doesn't, there's a points-based system in order to get a work permit to work in the UK. And that would includes how many games you play in a league. And certain leagues are given based on like the UEFA coefficient. So if you play in like probably the top league, if you play in the French league, the top French league, probably Turkey, we've just been talking about, German league, that gives you a massive amount of points if you're regular in the top league in other top countries. And then as you go down the things, it gets lower and lower. But by playing, I think he's played 20 games last season, 12 or so this season. Now that would have helped him out massively in terms of having the ability to get a work permit in England. So maybe that's what he was looking for. Like, let's go to this country, get two years doing this, and then maybe he's figured out, oh, I can go to England now. I've got enough. I should have enough points to get a work permit. If that's the situation, I don't know. Maybe he got a Belgian nationality or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, so he signed with a new agency, and he's meeting Cherno Samba, who is the UK person for that agency. And they have a guy in Belgium, but he didn't meet with him. So that's weird. That's where it's getting a little bit weird. So obviously, does that mean he's signing for Millwall? No, I think he's coming to the UK. He was linked with Watford in that story as well, and he's linked with Millwall. Now, why is he really being linked with Millwall? And apparently, so we do have confirmation that they are looking at him. He's on a list of targets. So there you go. He's on the list of targets. Cherno Samba seems to be his new agent. Is he signing? Is he not? Maybe, I don't know. But he does seem to be coming to this country. So there you go. Now, that's it for the transfer news today. Now we're going to get on more news about the FA Cup game. We've had it for like the past week or so, little bits of stories about injuries or players going to come back for it, whatever now. So we've got confirmation today from Gary Rowett. George Long will be in goal, apparently. So this is from news@den.co.uk. Millwall goalkeeper set to replace Bartosz Białkowski in FA Cup clash against Crystal Palace. George Long is set to start in Millwall's Glamour FA Cup third round clash against Crystal Palace at the Den on Saturday. Goalkeeper Long, 28, joined on a free transfer from Hull City last summer and has made 3 appearances for the Lions, all in the EFL Cup. Bart Biakowski is Mill's first choice keeper in the league and hasn't missed 1 minute of Championship action since replacing Frank Fielding in the 43rd minute of the opening day of the season in 2019-20. Gary Rowett's selection could also be conditioned by the lack of match action players have got over their last month after a COVID-19 outbreak at the club. Mikael Keftenbeld hasn't played since December 4, but Rowett was hopeful he would train on Wednesday ahead of the South London derby. Rowett could also have the opportunity to bring on young players such as Zach Lovelace, with 5 substitutions allowed in the competition. Rowett said Long deserves his chance. We committed to Longy playing in these types of games anyway. He's been brilliant behind the scenes. He's trained fantastically well, Rowett told News at Den. So what he's saying, they've agreed with Long that he'll play in the cup games. So it seems like it's already a done deal. He played in the EFL Cup games. Even when we got the draw against Leicester, and it was a Premier League team, they carried on with him. They didn't swap him out for Bart, which I think is right. If you're going to play a certain player, if you're in the team, then you should keep them all the way through. Back in the day, I remember Arsene Wenger and Arsenal. He would play the second string in the EFL Cup and FA Cup and whatnot. And as he got through the rounds and got to the semi-final and final, they would drop out the players that got them there and then play the first team. And like, that's not very fair on the players who got you there. So it seems they told George Long that he'll be playing in the cup games, and even though it's Crystal Palace, a Premier League team, we said we'll play him in the cup games. Let's play him. And to be honest with you, I don't think Gary Rowett gives a shit about cup games. I think he couldn't care less, which is why I'm worried in terms of playoffs, because if we do get in the playoffs are a cup game. The league switches from being a league to a knockout cup tournament, and Gary Rowett doesn't appear to. You can't draw your way out of the playoffs. It's a cup competition. You need to win. You need to play to win, and that's what you learn in cup competitions. And I don't think he's got it in him to do that. So we will see. Which could be setting us up for another disappointing situation, a la Birmingham City, all those years ago, where the fans are so hyped up and ecstatic to get in the playoffs, and then Gary Rowett can't guide the team through the knockout competition because he doesn't have it in him, and that would be very underwhelming, disappointing. Millwall Football Club and for Millwall Football Club fans. He's waited patiently for an opportunity, and I think in these types of games we've committed to helping him develop and give him game time. I'll be pretty keen to see Longy start in this game. Other than that, not many players have played loads of games anyway recently because of COVID. We missed the 2 games around Christmas. What I probably wouldn't want around this point is to give too many players another 2 weeks without playing. We'll do what we normally do. We'll make some sensible changes before the game, within the game. It's a game that we want to be really competitive in. It's at home, it's a local derby, playing against a very good side with a lot of good players. We'll be relatively strong anyway, and the 5 substitute rule will give us an opportunity to hopefully see one or 2 of the youngsters off the bench potentially as well. So it's a little bit of a double-edged plan. So he's still going to have the youngsters on the bench, and I don't know if it's a bigger bench. Is it 7 subs now in the FA Cup? I don't know. They keep changing the fucking rules. It's hard to keep up. But is it going to be 5 subs from 7 or 5 from 5? I don't know. So there you go. He's kind of hinting there that he expects to lose that game. He won't be bothered if we lost that game. And at the end of the game, when we're losing that game that he expects us to lose, he'll bring on a couple of youngsters. So all of you Millwall fans getting hyped up for that game, we're going to be going on Saturday. How's that? How's that feel? That the manager doesn't really give a shit about it. There you go. I'll be watching it on ITV, and if we don't put in a performance, I'll be really pissed off at it as well. To be honest, yeah, I'm not even going. Some more comments in terms of injuries and whatnot. So, what will the side be that will be facing Crystal Palace? Let's find out. So Mill boss hopeful over Jed Wallace, Mikael Keftenbeld and Mason Bennett for Palace tie. Mill boss Garrett is hoping Jed Wallace, Mikael Keftenbeld and Mason Bennett will be available to face Crystal Palace on Saturday. Wallace and Keftenbeld haven't played since December 11 and December 4 respectively. Bennett was due to be involved with Bristol City last weekend but fell ill the night before the game. I think Mikael, Mason and Jed potentially are due to train Wednesday, Rowett said on Tuesday. I've not sat down with the medical team to formulate the plan for the weekend, but we stand at the minute. They are due to join in with some aspect of first team training tomorrow. I think that's positive. It's early enough in the week to give them a chance of being available. If you train for 2 or 3 days, you probably come into the reckoning at this moment in time. I would hope that those 3 would be available. Whether we choose they are available for the match or whether that's too soon will be dictated by how they do in training. So there you go. There you go. Team news for the big game at Crystal Palace. Against Crystal Palace, but Garrett seems to expect to lose. And it probably wouldn't give a shit if we did lose it, because he's trying to get into those playoffs. He's desperate. We're there or thereabouts, and it's just not happening. So there you go. That is it for today's video. Thank you for watching. Come back tomorrow to see if Jed Wallace has been sold. Bye for now.